Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild, the power to heal, the future of pain relief.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Wonderful Thursday afternoon to you, everyone. Thank you so very much. And welcome once again to The Real Issues. The Real Issues with me, Shelton Daniel, your host and producer, alongside our technical operator, Jaquan, and a gentleman who I hope will be my regular on Thursdays at least, at the very, very least. Terry Fenelon is in the house once again, and he's got a lot of material prepared that he'll pretty much be doing his thing with me, just standing by as the supporting act in case he needs any of that support. I suspect he seldom does, if ever, I suspect this man, if I get him to do the program, he'll do a fantastic job all by himself. Okay. Hope you're having a good day so far. I am, we've had a few showers this morning, but apart from the showers, it feels fairly cool as the days have gone today. Thus far is very cool. The sweltering, scorching heat and so on appears to have relaxed. And I can tell you, last night I had a good rest, but as usual, when I have a good rest, I don't know what happens, if it is the length of time between my last drink of water or my neck going all kind of way because I have local dummy phone, I could say more. That I wake up, with a little bit of a headache, but I cleared it up, between the heat and all of that. But I've been sleeping a little better these days. I'm a guy, I've been a lifelong enemy, or sleep has been a lifelong enemy of mine. I got to be reading something, I got to be watching the TV, and then the TV will be watching me after some time, or I'll fall asleep with a book across my chest or something like that and so on. But lately I've been hitting the sack and, just drifting into it. So I think things are getting better. Climate-wise, we all know that the heat has been affecting so many of us pretty badly, and though some of us more than, I suppose, fat fellas, would have more problem with the heat, because of the insulation, the blubber and all of that, keeping the heat trapped and so on. Maybe people like Terry Fennell don't have those kind of issues, their heat loss and so on is much better regulated. He's a regular swimmer. I think every day he goes for his daily swim and so on. So contact with the water and all of that might be naturally cooling him down and all those sorts of things. I'm going to turn over to him, but let me just say something which I've said many, many times before. I suspect repetition is the key to this. Keep at it. Don't give up, whatever, because I have seen some improvements in some things I have often ranted about, and I think I've told you that I find on the roads, I see far fewer of those show-off bikers, those motorcyclists that will not pass when the road is clear for them to pass. Is when there's another line of traffic because they want to show how slick they are, how zippy, that they can just, slice their way through opposing lanes of traffic. I see far few. There are a few of them, but not enough for me to make a big deal out of it. So things kind of improve. I'm happy when I hear the police are busting people for illegal firearms and all. But I want to say there is a craziness taking place on our roads that the police need to do a better job of busting a few people, more people, because I know you can't net or snag every one of them. But when you get some of them, word will go out. It is the craziness that people are doing with lights. Lights are not a game. They are not style and fashion. They are not a joke. They are not something for you to flex yourself and to show, how flashy you are. That is not what lights on vehicles or any kind of traffic lights, the street lights and so on, that is not what they are for. The lights are for illumination. They are for visual perception. They are for signaling, those kinds of things. And when I talk about visual perception, I need you to understand what I am saying. The law is that once it is sunset, or better yet, once you see the street lights are on, your headlights should be on. Not your park lights. Your headlights should be on. Based upon whether they are pedestrians and oncoming traffic, whatever, you can have yourself on dim. At other times, you're on a stretch of road where you don't have street lights, for example, you can have them on bright. It's just a flick of the switch with your hand up and down, and you dim your lights so that you don't be blinding oncoming motorists or pedestrians or so on. The lights are not there to show how good your eyes. How Shelton Daniel say, avec gade isete ek mamim bizweni light. Now we toujours. Whether you can see perfectly at 7 o'clock at least, even before that, you should have your headlights on. It is not just for illumination and whether you can see, it is for the visual perception of other road users. When you are driving on your park lights alone, which as its name suggests, you stop, you take off your headlights, your engine is running, you're letting off somebody as whatever, you keep your park lights on, so at least the perception, the visual perception of your presence is still there without you blinding anybody. What is high-fine happening these days? I am driving and I am unaware that there is a vehicle behind me. And when you're supposed to make any kind of maneuver from driving school, they tell you, you're supposed to check your mirrors, put on your signal, your indicator as we call it, and then execute the maneuver. Sometimes you don't see somebody behind you because they have their park lights, which sit lower in the visual line of view, in the visual field and so on. So somebody's driving behind you. Either they have no lights or they have just their park lights. You're supposed to glance on the road, the fast-moving road. You don't have time to be studying and staring your mirrors. It's a quick glance. If somebody has their headlights, you're supposed to see them. When they have their park lights, sometimes you miss them because their park lights are competing with so many other lights on the road. Lights behind you, street lights, reflection lights, oncoming lights. And many times I'm driving and I'm unaware that there is somebody behind me and I'm going to make a maneuver, a right turn, you signal, and it's only when they angry and then they cuss you, what the hell you doing, whatever, and so on, because you never knew that they were there. People are driving with just their park lights. Others are driving without any lights. Some are driving with their fog lights and they have it on the brightest. I don't know if you can dim and so on, fog lights. They're doing all kinds of craziness. There's 25-seater buses, which I suppose or suspect are either in the taxi or in the tourist business, transporting hotel workers. The fellas are driving with park lights. It is very difficult to discern the dimensions of the vehicle. It is very difficult, for the visual acquisition of a vehicle. All these games with lights. And then once some are doing it, others just simply jump on the bandwagon because it becomes a style. It becomes a, dog, that looking proper, when you're driving with just the park lights, them blue park lights you have. This is the kind of praise and congratulations. Police, this thing is becoming chaotic. It is becoming, apart from the people who drive with headlights on bright, with fog lights at the same time, with all of the different kind of lights, with all colors, lights that are blue, lights that are white, lights that are neon, lights that are flashing, the swiveling lights, they come on, they go off, pop, 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 as if it's some kind of discotheque mirror ball that you have and so on, which is disorienting to people. Police, you need to take back the streets. You need to do something. I believe you have done something about the bikers because most of them were not insured. I suspect they could not get insured, They could not get insured because it is too much risk for the insurance companies because of the craziness they're doing. You need to bust some people on the road with this craziness with the lights. Lights are not for fun and games. They're not for style and fashion. They're not for flexing and swag and impressing people. They are for illumination. They are for perception. They are for visual acquisition. They are for signaling. That is what they are for. Get people back to the regulations pertaining to vehicle lights, the park lights, the headlights, the brake lights, the indicator lights. are the signaling lights for them to stop fooling around. We will never know how many accidents on the road are being caused by this foolishness. And I have to say I'm disappointed. To me, I just find this thing has gone crazy and out of control, and I do not get the sense that enough, if at all anything, is being done about it. So having said that, the rant that I promised I wasn't going to do today, they have gone into it again. Terry Fenelon, it's yours to take away.
Thank you, comrade. I want to agree with you on this. It's not fun for me driving at night anymore, because these bright lights, they kind of blind you, and it makes driving very uncomfortable at night. So I'm hoping that something will be done. These modifications, totally unnecessary. Well, Shelton, I'm here today again. Welcome. I want to thank the listeners and the viewers for always welcoming me into, as part of your day. I would have wished to be on during the week, but Shelton was on national duty. And I must say, Shelton, I followed the debates both in the House, in the upper and the lower house, or the lower and the upper house, in that order. And I was really kind of surprised by some of what I saw. To me, there were some things that are just no-brainers. You're taking a bill, is it a bill or a motion? A bill to the House to present or to give VAT exempt status or status to the National Trust. To me, Shelton, that should have just been, I support the bill. That should have been just, to me, a 5-minute conversation. To me,
that's right.
A national institution like the National Trust, formed I think in 1975. Listen, when it was COVID, let's go back, just bear with me a little while. When COVID struck and there was a lot of uncertainty, churches were closed, casinos were closed, and somebody made a comment, boy, when heaven and hell combine on an issue, it is serious. You understand? Now I want to make the point here, not heaven and hell, but two chaps married to two sisters, two opposing parties. Just like we had parties, SLP, Sir John Compton, Sir Julian R. Hunt.
Yes.
Oh no, you see, there was a time when there was a civility in our politics, a mutual understanding between parties, that there are some things you have to come together for the common good.
Even amidst intense rivalry. Yes, but
you have to down your tools and for the greater good, for the country, for the country's patrimony, not its credit rating. SLP, UWP put down the guns, so to speak, figuratively, and they came together with Robert DeVoe, this great man, and they formed the National Trust to protect, preserve, and conserve our patrimony, our heritage, cultural and otherwise, because they saw the necessity of preserving certain historical things for future generations. And if managed properly, a lot of money can be derived. So, heaven and hell, not in that case, like COVID, church and casinos closed, so that was serious. And so we have two opposing parties for the common good, coalescing among a common theme. Because that is St. Lucia, man, we're thinking of the future. And they created, by an act of parliament, the St. Lucia National Trust. Now, Sir John and Sir Julian Hunt came to, and Mr. Robert DeVoe, you have to always put him there. This is a great man. We need to know more about him. To preserve, and governments after governments, the decency would honor these things. The subvention was never in question.
Although once you bring in the preservation of our natural patrimony, we have in recent times a completely different.
I'll come to that.
Okay, all right.
You see, because even if in the midst of our political, because political, the thing is, it's kind of, it's adversarial.
Yes.
Not enemies. We understand there are some things that you just must unite for the common good.
Exactly.
And the National Trust, National Archives.
Because if we don't, we all will be fried.
Right. Yes. And that was just understood. And so the National Trust was always taken, because I grew up, I mean, I'm not sure if personally I'm a member of the National Trust, and I must check. I know I used to be when I was at the institution I led. Every year around this time, we paid our $120, a token, that's just a token, $120 as membership, so the students can have access, etc. They can go and recreate and visit the sites, etc. Especially when you have culminating activities, we always welcome. And sometimes when they reach, they say, but you know your membership expired, and I have to call and say, no, okay, the check is on its way. Because it's just a given, Shelton. It's a given. And then, you had a guy who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. I want to repeat that, a guy who knows the price of everything
and the value of
nothing. He sat before another prime minister and talking about your patrimony, your credit rating, and that prime minister had to laugh.
Was laughing?
He had to laugh in his face because he was saying, "What man? Your patrimony is your credit rating." And I heard the guy in the house talking about the guys have so much land and thing, and it's commercial.
Yes, I tell you.
The man cannot wrap his head around the fact that everything cannot be for dollars and cents.
Yes, because he does not understand patrimony.
You see, you have to preserve certain things. And Shelton, sometimes you take a little trip to Debaran thing, you see the little strip. Sometimes you see the thing they used to use for sugar cane and all the sites. It's a massive amount of money that is needed to preserve and conserve and protect those sites.
It is not every square inch of land that
you have to sell.
That you have to put concrete
and steel on.
And asphalt. They are what you might see to be idle spaces, but they are what you call green spaces. They are self-regenerating environmental spaces. And you need spaces like that.
I don't want to play. Should I play that video, Shakwan? The man in that. No, let us. If you get it. If not, but it's in the house talking about the commerce and I'm like, this guy doesn't understand.
Everything for them is that every beach must have a hotel. Must have a hotel.
Well, as I'm on that,
every space where you have a playing field, you must put a supermarket.
Yeah. Now, I just speak. The place I go to swim, I realize that there used to be a hotel before, but I'm noticing the pegs infringing on where the vehicles park. So I'm a little. Honorable Richard Frederick and company, those of you responsible, check that out. I mean, yes, I want development. No, I want development. But at least allow us that little space where the group up, because every morning we have a fraternity, we meet and we park. We're not infringing on anybody. But I notice the peg is halfway. Vehicles will not be able to pass there. And I'm a little worried, I'm a little concerned. National Trust, I give you a heads up. I begin your love, but make some noise, make a lot of noise on my behalf. Well, on our behalf, because at least, man, they can give us that concession. You don't need all of that to put a little hotel, your hotel. We need a little space to recreate, and we don't, it's decent people that go there. One of the guys every morning, first thing he does before he takes his walk on his swim is to clean the beach, clean that portion of the beach, etc. So, I was stunned when, I think Bradley just, I don't know if it's matter because maybe it's disappointed me.
Bradley's a wily person.
He's disappointed me because to me Bradley,
he's a very
as a Sumerian, he knows better. And Bradley knows the fellas these guys don't include you in things. The last time the fellas went to New York, they did not even tell you. You yourself admitted, your manager told you these guys were there, so you decided to come there because your party, and you went there talking endless nonsense about barrels for UW. Preaching the Belrose doctrine. Bradley, you're no longer an enigma. I've always said I don't view you anymore as that nice guy who I'll leave you alone, guys, because you get me irate there this morning today, and I'll go on a tangent. I don't want to go, but I was stunned. The leader of the opposition stood up, basically opposing VAT exemption for the National Trust. Actually, I thought that the National Trust had already received VAT exemption. And as you correctly, somebody else said in the Senate, that was a brilliant point that you made. There must be domestic reparations.
Yes.
You can pull up the Derrick Walcott house to me. There must be domestic reparations.
Yes.
Because you cut off the funding. You know about withhold. This guy has no shame,
And it's not just shame. apart from not having shame, I find Shasney has no remorse, no
Nothing.
penitence about him. It's like if Shasney was going after somebody while he was in office, Shasney, even while he's in opposition leader, he tries to champion the very same vendetta from the opposition side.
Yes.
So Shasney has some beef with Reno Gajada, you understand? And then next thing you know, Reno Gajada's daughter buys a piece of land that Slasper does not want in the Banan Tapion area because, it is just too awkward for them to remediate it for their development. Shasney has to go off after that piece of land because it's Reno's daughter.
Yeah.
And so he never relents from his vendettas and from when he has somebody in his sights. As far as he's concerned, he was doing something to the National Trust, which election and change of government interrupted. So right now, this government trying to remediate it, it has become...
And I want to tie that in biblically because today I was... I will come back to that, ladies and gentlemen. But we celebrated Juju. Now, this is everywhere trying to big up Juju. After you took the girls 150 US. Well, she don't need it now. Thank God. That gold and silver medal almost did not happen because of this man's pettiness. And your vendetta against Mr. Tulsi, who is more St. Lucian than you, who has contributed more to St. Lucian than you. Your personal vendetta almost, that's cost us. Because the point I said you were making in the house, the domestic reparations, you deprived the trust of almost $3 million. When you multiply what they're getting, what they should have been getting, just as you deprive 6 constituencies of CDB funds with your pettiness.
And the 6 constituencies for an
entire put that house back up.
Entire cycle of
Please,
parliament. The whole parliamentary term you did that.
The first casualty of depriving the National Trust of funds. Look it there on the screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
I stopped there today because I see it every day. Shelton, you could see it.
Wonderful restoration,
was being done. And the vision for that part of St. Lucia. Now, he didn't like it because he figured the place it is, he figured that's ghetto. But I could tell you, Shelton, there's guys who are looking after that house there. That must be one of the safest houses in St. Lucia.
Derek Walcott was moved to tears
when he saw that. I just said that, Gaza. I was reminiscing. Look at that. I took it there. The building that was compromising it, on the side there, you see the rubble there, because they're fixing up Chaussee Road. So that building came down eventually, because that was part of the plan to take it down and to expand the place and make the place look nice. Derek Walcott, Sir Derek Walcott, Nobel laureate, Shelton, moved to tears because he was being honored. This how Juju likes the honor that she got from her people. The first casualty, the man didn't care. And that went. The first casualty.
Now, if it was something to put up a supermarket, you'd be all for it.
And you know what struck me there? My mind wandered and said, but if Derek was alive today, what would he have written?
If Derek was alive, this would kill him again.
Yeah, but he would have written because you see
the hurt and the pain of seeing that.
It took me back to a poem.
It's like it's a slap in my face.
Yes. It took me back to a poem that he wrote. It's not published. You cannot find that. The Mongoose. He had a spat with V.S. Naipaul, right? V.S. Naipaul started it. He claimed that Derek's writing kind of constricted or restricted his writing was constricted by his colonial heritage. You see that word again?
Yes.
Colonization and colonialism. And he wanted to diss Derek. He took a swipe at Derek for that. He figured that Derek's colonial history, colonial heritage, and Derek can be petty, and Derek hit back. And for the literary people out there, I read a little thing. In 2008, at the Calabash Festival in Jamaica, Derek presented works, but on the last day, his last poem, he said, boy, I wonder whether I should read that. The Mongoose. The Calypsonians and the hip-hop artists, they diss each other in track.
Right.
And now that poem was never published. You have to go on Google and read that. And he wrote, now I'll try to see from memory what, I have been bitten. I must avoid of infection or I'll be as dead as this man's fiction. If you read his latest novels, you'll see what I mean. A lethargy approaching the obscene That's his opening salvo. And he wanted people to say, I'm going to get nasty, it's going to get rough. And you unleash. Now that's literally brilliant work, but it was really nasty truth. So that was his thing, and he called him the VS Nightfall, and he took a swipe at Mr. Biz, house of Mr. Bizwas, and he went to tongue on this man and his race, and I mean, it's a beautiful poem to listen to. I cannot write that. It's not published. That was his. So I wonder if he was alive today, what would he have written? Because he would have written, that would have, as you said, that would have broken his heart.
Yeah, Derek Walcott could have destroyed anybody he wanted
with
one stroke of his pen.
One stroke of his pen.
So if he was petty, I understand it's a manner of speaking, but if he was petty.
He was in that regard.
With one stroke of his
pen. Now,
pen.
the deputy president of the House, of the Senate, what's his full name? Neil
Deal, deputy president of the Senate. Yeah,
Island scholar. You know this in one sentence how he destroyed the leader of the government, the opposition business. I almost said Kokoloram, forgive me. How he destroyed made them VAT struggling the country, VAT struggling. And Neil, an island scholar, you know these fellas are brilliant. He says, but you're talking about VAT. If VAT was a stranglehold, there'll be no economic growth, so your argument does not hold. Man, that was a diss. And man, I jumped because this guy's reasoning and logic.
Yeah, they just
this fella's bright.
They say things that just fly
there. Yeah. So you're trying to hang this thing about VAT. All Caribbean countries have VAT.
Yes.
How
come we don't see the economy
tanking? So in one little sentence, he destroyed this guy. Man, you're talking about VAT. If VAT was so oppressive as you say, man, there'd have been no economic growth. There are 3 years of economic growth, and we projected to grow by 5% again.
Yes.
And you know what? VAT. You go to Barbados to get your visa, you pay 17% VAT. You go to Antigua, what's it?
ABST, 15%.
You go St. Vincent, 17%. Everywhere,
yes.
People paying VAT. You believe in solution?
Barbados, it must be 17.5% or more.
So I mean, this guy is just petty. And solutions, you have to understand that. Let me go. There's a quotation by Brother Gonzalez Jacquan. I send it to you. And that is so fundamental. You see, over the weekend, I have to go over Ralph's speech again. He made the point. You cannot have a philosophy and a leadership based on denigrating everything that comes out of our Caribbean, and I included the solution civilization.
Right. We have to go for
take the break, and we're going to come back.
The denigration of the Caribbean civilization, we can just borrow from Keith Rowley and say no thanks, tropical Trump. This is the real issues. We'll be back shortly.
Great stuff.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Big issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains, and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains, and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, vitamins like beta-carotene, vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
It is well known that diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and other illnesses may restrict blood flow, which can lead to impotence and erectile dysfunction. This is why Enhance was formulated to meet these challenging health problems, which can reduce your ability to perform. If you're having problems maintaining your manhood, then reclaim your manhood today with Enhance. Enhance increases your energy level, boosts your stamina, and increases your endurance.
You can get your Enhance at Southwell VA4, Restorer Pharmacy Soufre, Knights Med Miku, Lay by Bar The Morn, Dexter's Place Jeremy Street Castries, Citygate Bar The City opposite the market, Plants Place Denry Highway, Arlette Supermarket Soufre, The Release Stress Bar Labrie Highway, Cool Joint Bar Victoria Schwazel, Prios Bus Stop 22, next to the Moshi Bus Stop, opposite the Grosile Bus Stop. Prios Bar and Grill in Corinth, Grosile.
Enhance, the best a man can get.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
For staying with the real issues on this Thursday. It is the 31st and last day of the month of October 2024. When tomorrow rolls along, we will be in November territory. I'm Shelton Daniel, and with me is my co-host Terence Fenelon. Before I turn back, I hand you back to him to bring the program forward. Let me remind you that it being Thursday, tonight at 8:30 on NBC Television and Real FM, as well as Facebook Live, there will be Can I Help You with Richard Frederick, and as usual, we expect he'll be accompanied by Albert Fridges. So put that in your diary, in your notebook, in your appointments book, 8:30 tonight on NBC Television, Real FM Radio, and Facebook Live. Can I Help You with Honorable Richard Frederick, the elected Member of Parliament for Central Castries and the Minister responsible for housing and local government. Terry.
Yes, as I was saying, the quote by Dr. Comrade Ralph, you cannot have a philosophy and a leadership based on denigrating everything that comes out of our solution civilization. Now, I was making reference to the point that we always had a civility in our politics, that members, whichever side of the political divide, would coalesce for the common good. And one of those was the solution, national trust, the national. You cannot fight that from Sir John, Ken, Dr. Anthony, Mr. King, etc. All of the prime ministers, they just acknowledge that as a given. Now, Shelton, I don't know if you like me, I don't really watch movies unless it's unless it's the Marvel type, DC
Yeah,
Comics and
okay,
Marvel.
okay.
You know, the Avengers, my favorite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
And sometimes when you watch his movies, you know, and the storylines. Now it's nothing cerebral. Some fellas says, "Nah, I just watch it for fun." And you know when they say, "Boy, something has happened in the timeline. We need to go back and fix the timeline." Other than that, you know, if we don't adjust the timeline,
Yes.
that time, this will not happen. So, you know, I did a flash or some whatever. So when our timeline, something happened in the timeline, we could identify when, you know, 2016 to 2021. You could put the Matthias picture there for me. A domino was split that Matthias the whole thing.
Yes.
That period was a period. Now, people, you may have to explain what Matthias is for those people who don't understand, who never play dominoes.
Mismatching the dominoes.
Mismatching the dominoes.
Yes.
It look, you know, everything is going nicely. You know, you're playing your shots. You should play the other one. You should play the more recent one with the one with Matthias at the bottom. I sent it to you there. You know, you're playing and you play nicely. The game is going nicely. And all of a sudden you realize, hey, wait a minute, something not matching there. And you have to go back and trace in the domino.
Right.
And instead of, you know, 5-6.
How come you feel like what you say you have a clay?
Yeah.
And then in the clay your 5 that you have, you see another man.
Yes, and
you see another man playing in the same 5 that you feel
so
that's
that
your clay.
Matthias bad. And then Gaza, you have to decide, hey. So between 2016 and 2021, the domino got Matthias. Bad shots were played. You understand? And then we realized, but our House of Assembly is not properly constituted. People who are not ministers of finance sending out letters, pajor letters to get money by passing parliament, right? CDB funds badly used.
Yes.
Cement manufacturers going and look for pharmaceuticals for us. You understand? Direct awards like crazy. People spending at least $20 million in $50,000 contracts to bypass the Finance Act. And all kinds of irresponsible things were happening during the time 2016 to 21.
All right.
It really mattered us. And the country was, I mean, bad shots upon bad shots upon bad shots. And you wonder, you know what I mean? Instead of foreign direct investment like Sahafa, and I'm no top one on Sahafa, instead of investors coming in the money, you have in a gala me bala. And look at the mini point. Look. You understand?
This one I've spoken no end about it in Terry. That's the first time I see anybody who calls themselves an economist.
Yes.
You know, and an MBA and all this kind of thing that the man says he is.
Yes.
That the man's idea of attracting investment
yes.
is to bring people there and pay them to come and set up shop. You know, this one honestly takes the cake. You know
what I mean? So during that time, things were happening that just befuddled the mind.
Yeah.
Left us totally discombobulated. What's really going on? You understand? And I couldn't understand it. And not to say, well, there were men and women to me who were sufficiently schooled, educated, who should have had backbone to say, listen, wait a minute, things can run so. Things ought not to be running so. Yet, they allowed it. Because I understood they took an oath to totally submit. And so, Philip J. Pierre now.
Talk to me.
Today I was just meditating. I was on the bed coming from my swim, doing some laundry, you know, waiting for.
Yes.
And then my mind went back to Joel 2:25.
What does it say?
Let me try to get that for you. You see, because a lot of people have said that he's a Moses, because Philip J. Pierre is just a restorer. I will restore to you the years. Now solutions, he's talking to us now, because we have gone back in time. We have to fix the timeline, you know what I mean, where that domino got Matthias, where there was bad governance, you understand, where everything was topsy-turvy. People would take off a sigh of layman, etc. I mean, all the rules were abandoned, the conventions were abandoned, the proper governance, the respect for the constitution. All these things took a backseat. It took us back. I mean, Sir John was, that was not his party. because you know Sir John as a lawyer, he upheld the law. He had pride, father of independence. You know, he did things even when he had a 9-8. He ensured that the house was properly constituted because he is a man of integrity. I don't care what people say. You know, in that kind of thing, in public life, you must be honorable. You understand? You have to lead because you are a leader. And so, right now, Philip J. Pierre and the cabinet, we have to go and repair the timeline. And the Bible says in Joel 2:25, I'll restore unto you the years that the swarming locusts have eaten, the crawling locusts, the consuming locusts, and the chewing locusts. Now, let me just go back and explain what it is. You see, when the Bible talks about locusts, I mean, locust is very destructive. You know?
Exactly, to vegetation and plants.
You understand?
And your corn and all of that.
So when in biblical terms, you know, they use that metaphor and describe it, locust. It speaks of a deadly, you know, ravenous, eating up everything.
Yes.
Before its path.
Indeed.
You know, and so basically that's what we had. People look at that just somebody. I think Honorable Richard Frederick called it the Edico government because they were looking after themselves. You understand? So when the Bible talks about locusts in that context, it talks about people that ravenous, greedy,
devourer,
deadly,
you know, yes.
and they would just devour. They had no compunction. They didn't care about anything else. You know what I mean? And so we have to restore. So here we have the restorer, Philip J. Pierre, and he has come. He's restored the laptops, the distress fund. He has restored the National Trust to its rightful position. He has restored good governance.
He has restored our relationship with Venezuela. Get out of this nonsense.
We are about to restore the Cuban ICAP.
Yes.
And on Monday, I was talking to one of somebody who works there and telling me, Felano, boy, that close is just one little thing missing. He says, yeah, they be calibrating. They have to calibrate the instruments because brand new stuff. And I will not tell you what it is. Anyway, so we're restoring the Cuban ICAP program. You understand? He's restoring good governance, our name. And not only that, now people are taking a page from putting people first.
Yes.
Just before I came on air, St. Vincent, Conrad Ralph unleashed a slew of initiatives for the independence. And when I read through them, I was saying, that's Philip J. Pierre. You see, the similar minds, butting heads.
Yes.
He must have, while he was there, he was consulting the brother and say, but Philip, how are you doing it?
Indeed.
And Philip was telling him, but this is how we do it. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. You know what I mean? And when you read, I mean, I will not bore you. I think I circulated it in our group. You understand? Excuse me. I circulated our group. Most of the things there, the Honorable Philip J. Pierre has already done. And he has promised, because he has telegraphed what he's going to do in the future, you know.
Yes.
He's doing more because he's putting people first. And my comrade you met said, that's people putting people first with imagination.
Imagine, yes.
Philip, our Prime Minister is putting you first. He's using his imagination. You know, his ministers are not stealing. I mean, the corruption, if there is, it must be negligible. I hope there isn't. But if there is so all the money we have is to do the projects and the programs that we have. So when I read Ralph, one of my comrades said, but Ralph is taking a page from Philip's Pierre, and I had to tell my comrade, but hey, man, you bright, so you reading my mind, man. I just wrote that to another friend of mine to say, well, Philip J. Pierre seems to be the Prime Minister of all the islands. He's also leading the side, that side. Because you notice they stole our mantra. Putting people first. They have it people-centered, whatever focus.
Okay.
That's Philip J. Pierre. So you know what I mean? So they have to copy, you know, they have to copy.
Which side
they have to copy.
Which side you talking about? The side that's only one side of a cashew, side on one.
The side that I saw a few of them, a motley crew of them there's something I said by Jago
by the cashews.
By the cashews. You know, I was coming from, coming from my morning swim. I stopped to have I bought some coconut water and some fruits to have when I, and then I'm passing Chaussee Road because, that's my route going home. And I'm looking by the road and I'm seeing about 5 people, 6, 7, talking about healthcare. Let's go to healthcare. We have time. You know, they have certain politicians. If you listen to them well, you'll catch them speaking the truth. And there's a particular fella, well, Mr. Mati Telmo, but if you give him enough rope, he speaks the truth, you know. And it tells you that these fellas knew exactly what they were doing in that box. You could run that video for me. Let me pause. Sheldon always says I just talk and don't hear. So let me pause. While you listen to this fellow, we caught him speaking the truth. You know, once in a while he speaks the truth. Let's play that.
Caught in a moment of truth.
Truth, yes. The last one I sent you. Very last one I sent you. The guy did it in front. Yes. Let's just go and get that quickly. And listen to the guy speaking the truth. You know, you have to catch them sometimes. It's coming up. I don't want to be talking, so just let it play.
Two of the smaller structures that would be 90% of the buildings remain. From what I know is just 2 structures, 2 of the smaller structures that would be impacted with any form of demolition.
We're saying here that the east wing of the St. Jude's Hospital is larger than the area being occupied at the stadium at this point.
Yes.
Good.
By about 4,000 square feet.
By about 4,000 square feet. How much did you estimate the completion of the east wing of St. Jude's Hospital to cost?
Just about 9.5 million EC dollars.
9.5 million EC dollars. So is it your testimony? Are you saying that to complete the east wing of the St. Jude's Hospital with more space would cost us less than the 12 million that they are willing to spend on the stadium?
Absolutely.
I think we have been very heavily criticized for stopping the work at St. Jude.
Government had continued working on it from the time they got into power, because fact is there was already a Taiwanese loan approved for $20 million US, of which 10 million had been used. So you found yourself with a dedicated line of 27 million EC dollars to work on a St. Jude Hospital. If they had done that from day one as a priority, we may be in a different position than we are now.
If we had made the decision from day one when we went in there, by now St. Jude would have reopened. That is the reality. If we had made the decision from day one when we went in there, by now St. Jude would have reopened.
The consultant engineer stressed that the roof is already compromised and it is better to come down in a structured operation. However, he said once the roof comes down, it will set a series of events into motion.
But once the fiberglass sheets come off, it means the process now to remove the rest of the roof must follow in a sequence. That's it must follow.
And the question now is, what happens if there is in fact some catastrophic failure of the roof at the Odlum Stadium and the resultant non-functioning of the hospital?
So the moving of the hospital from this facility, it must happen. Once this sheeting comes off, that's it. The sequence of events, you would say, has started. So the hospital must be taken off from this stadium in the shortest possible time.
90% of the buildings remain.
We would be better off in the existing buildings as currently constructed at the St. Jude site rather than in the stadium. The stadium has a serious set of problems.
The Standards Tapia was a hotel, if you know. It's
well,
a hotel.
I'm very much right. Yes.
Okay. It's a hotel that has been recycled to become a hospital. The standards of the facility at Tapia are in a worse condition than what exists at St. Jude's, and that's the fallacy of the whole thing.
Have a conscience. There has to be a moment in the life of a politician when his conscience has to take over his love for power and replace it with power to love the people who put them there. It's about them. Your legacy does not lie in what you've done for you, but in what you've done for others. That's what it is all about.
Yes, my people. You heard him there. He was caught in the truth. Normally you catch people in a lie. Listen very carefully. If we had continued, the hotel, the hospital would have been finished. That's an indictment, you know. We're talking 2026, 2016 to 2021. They knew that. They knew that. That hospital could have been, our patients, doctors and stuff could have been out there a long time ago. But they sent somebody there to give us a new measurement, the LoRa. Stretch out your arms. So we had a new unit of measure, the LoRa. And the LoRa said, you know what I mean? I mean, what? That's comedy, you know. Yeah. You know the Matthias in 2016 to 2021. That was a great Matthias, you know. So a human measurement, the LoRa. So they say, oh, if I open my arms, it's touching, so it can't open. But here is the Minister of Economic, well, he was the Minister of Health too, telling you that had they continued the hospital was 90% complete and they would have finished. But instead, they found a way to bypass. Well, when you really think about it, you have to ask yourself why. You spent $118 million to build a box, when through your own admission, that hospital could have been finished. And you heard one of the key architects there saying that would have just cost about $9 to $10 million.
Yes, yes.
Shelton, this is a crime. You put the country through all that, you know, we're coming to a break now. You put the country through all that kind of expense, uselessly.
To what purpose?
The suffering of this, and now you're going to demonstrate and talk about healthcare. You'll have no shame.
When those things that you caused have now reached a point where they are going to be resolved and are being resolved and have been resolved, at the tail end of fixing all the damage that you caused, you now want to come and protest, not against the damage that you did, because that'd be protesting against yourself, against the resolution, against the fixing, against the mending of those things. You want to come now and to make people believe that there is a crisis in healthcare in the country.
But we're coming. Let's take the break. We're coming. We're coming after the break. Yes. We're coming.
Okay.
We're coming.
Let's go a little 2 minutes early for the break.
Yes.
So when we come back, we'll be spot on.
Right. Spot on, and then we take maybe 1 or 2 calls.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from aches, pains and illnesses? When there's help for you. At Health Service Center, we offer a wide range of treatment that has been scientifically proven to help you with your aches, pains and illnesses. Our ICT machine is one of the most effective devices in the health field. It has shown positive results in many health problems, such as back pains, shoulder pains, migraine headaches, pain in the knees and legs, poor circulation, arthritis, diabetic neuropathy, numbness in the feet, strokes and sports injuries. ICT, repairs, rebuild. The power to heal, the future of pain relief.
McDowell's Supplements, an effective way to ensure you and your loved ones are getting the daily recommended intake of essential vitamins, minerals, and other important nutrients necessary for optimal health. Naturally, we carry an array of health and wellness supplements. McDowell's Immune Booster enhances your body's defense to fight colds and flu, boosts your immune system, prevents viruses and other airborne diseases. McDowell's Colon Cleanser prevents constipation, helps in removing toxins from the colon, detoxifies the body, and regulates your bowel movements. McDowell's Prostate Health prevent the enlargement of the prostate, improve urinary flow, and reduce frequent urination, especially at night. Moringa oleifera capsules are rich in minerals like calcium, potassium, zinc, magnesium, iron, and copper, Vitamins like beta-carotene of vitamin A, vitamin B such as folic acid, vitamin C, D, and E. McDowell's Potassium Complex, used for treating and preventing low potassium levels, high blood pressure, preventing stroke, and aid in weight loss. McDowell's Triple Magnesium relaxes the muscles, relieves cramps and helps to control high blood pressure, improves sleep, and can calm the nerves. Magnesium is very important for the normal functioning of cells, nerves, muscles, bones, and the heart. McDowell's Ginger Turmeric helps to relieve pain, decrease nausea and enhance the immune function to help protect against illness and infection. Ginger turmeric has powerful anti-inflammatory properties and improves your circulation. Don't hold health back. Let health strike back. McDowell's, the better way to start your health. Visit Health Service Center, John Compton Highway, call 453-6417. Let your wellness be our stress.
The man, the voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluffs. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM. The man.
So much everyone for staying with the real issues on this Thursday. It is the 31st and last day of the month of October 2024. Our program airs weekdays from 12:30 until 2 p.m. on this radio station, Real FM 91.3 for the North, 91.5 South. We're also on NBC Television, simulcasting channel 120 on the Flow Cable TV service. We are on Facebook Live as well, and we are streaming live on YouTube. Terrence Fenelon is in the house, and he continues where he left off before the break.
Yeah, so we caught this guy speaking the truth. If you give them, you remember how he denied the Pajot letter?
Yes.
I ain't signed no Pajot letter.
Yes.
I see a thing with my signature, but he didn't call Scotland Yard. He didn't call the police. I see a thing with my signature on the internet, and on the internet you could get anything, But a serious breach like that, you're not calling anything until when the pressure's on it. Yeah, I signed Pajot letter. The Christian, lying there, I never signed, and his leader, the ministers assured me there's nothing like that in his lip. He signed Pajot letter. You know what I mean? So every now and then, he forgets himself, and he speaks the truth, and he admitted that St. Jude was 90% complete. 90%. Yet you shelve that, right? To go and build a box for 118. That is, I don't know what percentage is complete. All I know that looking like, like the West Indies licking runs. And
remember, a sizable part of the expense associated with it was for something called architectural works.
I'm coming to that. Jaquan, I sent you the 4 things of Bobol. 4.
Yeah.
You guys tell you.
Yeah, I knew.
Solutions.
I knew about architectural.
But
architectural works.
Solution. Listen to me, folks. The new. You can put it up while I speak. The one. The timeline, I told you, something went wrong in our timeline. Our politics was decent, in spite of the fact that we are adversarial. Flub one day, we're always fighting. But when I say fighting, figuratively, etc. But there was a decency, peaceful transfer of power, respect for the constitution, respect for the norms, respect, there was civility, you know what I mean? The little mépris. But at the end of the day, Shelton, we understood what it meant to be solution. But then, guys, all of a sudden now, government applying for loans and you getting a commission. The timeline, that Matthias, and then finder's fee. I mean, that. Let me take my time. Sir John would never. Government applies for the loan for the Ministry of Finance.
Yes.
Everything is above board. Civil servants doing their work. It's not a thing. It was written. I'm thinking. You do your work, and agreements are signed, etc.
Yes.
Period repayment, etc., and stuff like that. Nothing like commission.
Well, you know, Terry, it is absolutely amazing that these are the people who were flying a flag of rejoicing in that so-called RICO lawsuit that Martinez files against St. Lucia. And RICO stands for Racketeering, Influence, Corrupt Organization. And this is exactly what these people did to governments.
That's right.
They turned the government into one big RICO, you know. You know, because
Mafia
it's rackets alone, they wanted to indulge in and turn everything into a racket. Everything they turn it into a racket. Vaccine procurement, building of a box that issue out of nowhere, and everything was to see how money could be bled away from it. So the whole government became a RICO under those people.
That's right.
Racketeering thing, you know.
Finder's fee. So we have a project, that's how we're doing. I give you a letter. Go and see if you could get a bank to give us a loan.
Yes.
That's our solution.
Which is why people are asking. We need to hear something about special prosecution. Because all this
we get it
apparent, if not obvious, racketeering that took place. Somebody need to hold them before some court and prosecute them. You all jumping up in the air. Oh, Martinez have them. Martinez have them. RICO lawsuit. But you all need RICO prosecution here. Criminal RICO prosecution.
Finder's fee.
You know,
Ladies and gentlemen, listeners, viewers, finder's fee. These fellas have found all kinds of way to siphon money from the treasury, you know. So you go and you get for the airport $500 million. Finder's fee of what? 2%.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
$10 million a man just putting that in his pocket, just so. I hope the muffin, You just putting that in your pocket, just so. So you don't see that kind of bubble. Fellas instituted that, And so when it was found out, it's like commission, that Panama thing. We need to hear from. Okay, commission, government loans, commission. Since when? And then $24 million for architectural works. Not designs, ladies and gentlemen. Architectural works. I don't know what is that. I spoke to an architect, asked him what is that. He didn't know. And he's a top man. I mean, this man knows his, he knows his stuff. Architectural works. The man was stunned. What? No, he told me about drawings, etc. And designs. Architectural works, $24 million. For $1 billion already up. Architectural works, $24 million. And the same way a man collected $2 million for doors at St. Jude, and there's not one door at St. Jude, but he's paid already. Special prosecutor is sleeping on you. And then we had, the new one, Pajot letters. You know, I had a politician say, I'm the most honest politician in the country. And then when he was on a program the night, the lady called him honorable. He said, hey, I'm not honorable anymore.
Can you imagine that?
Pajot letter. And you're giving it a flight. Now, I know the gentleman who was fronting for Pajot is not, let me leave that alone. But commission agreed to be paid by passing the house. You know, the indecency, the breakdown of good governance, and then when you're commissioned on that, and $176 million in the first letter to do what? St. Jude's, work at St. Jude's and lighting. We already had a loan for the lighting project, etc. I mean, Fletcher, Dr. Fletcher, etc. With the Caribbean Development Bank, you all scrapped that. I mean, the kind of level of bubble. You see that timeline? We have to go back and fix that. And that's what Philip J. We come in. So you want to demonstrate, because right now, CIP dead, right? So they're latching on to healthcare. But Philip J. tell you, I come in, I go build the fifth finger of OKEU. That fifth finger come in. You know what I mean? And I come in St. Jude just now, big bacchanal down there. When I say bacchanal, fun. Because when you open that, I go in down, Shelton, I don't know about you. But I already have my room booked.
Yes.
Tell my brother, Andy, fix that room, make sure the TV work in there and everything. And I camp in there for the weekend.
Yes.
Go to the beach by Rudy John Beach. I love that beach. Chill out down there, etc. Enjoy myself, making sure, because, hello, we're raising kids down there. You understand? We come in. You want to go and demonstrate. And listen, the building is not structurally unsound. There is mold. Now, Shelton, I privately told you about my experience with mold. And I have to tell you about the experience I had with mold, People don't take that lightly. I've seen people develop lupus. I've seen people whose lungs have collapsed. Talking from personal experience. Because you see, the bellows doctrine was applied to me. Shelton, I get emotional on that, you know.
At the Barbano Combined School.
Secondary school.
Which was, which was supposed to have been one of the newer schools, you know.
When I sat with a teacher, we having fun and talking in the, because we early, you know, we early, 6:45. And then I'm watching, at the time, I felt like that, she felt that she collapsed, vomiting, having to rush her to Tapion. And then with her permission, Dr. DJ, God let him rest in peace, Mr. Fernando, you have an environmental problem. And then another doctor come and say, whatever chemicals he needs, a list he needs to know. Because the kind of, don't mess around with mold, people. I tell you, I'm going to give you that story. Because it's a personal grouse now. Because you're all demonstrating in front of what? For what? Because what? Because the entrepot health center is open. La Clairie, VH. And if you concerned about the poor, okay, Brother Moses Shabatis, put a van there, man, like Tapio does, and people want to go to the health facility, let them board the van. Right. We go. That's a minor expense. So we'll try. That is what your fellas going to talk about there, Magi, and then they realize they have no issue. They start to attack Wasco. How Wasco could be? Have you passed an issue? That's a Wasco. We are trying to do it right. So when that road is paved properly, Wasco doesn't have to go and mash up anything again. New pipes are going on there, you know.
Right.
New infrastructure. You understand? New infrastructure that's going down there. You want to complain now because you realize you're making no sense on this health thing, so you're attacking Wasco. Wasco, do your job. You know, we always complain about you. So if a hurricane and thing pass, you don't have to be digging up the road already. That will hold. Because they're doing a fantastic job there. I mean, it's inconvenient. But it's not inconvenient forever. It's just for a time. You follow. So, you're going to come match for healthcare. Oh, the old and what they're going to do? Are they going to? I'm going to. But of course, what are they going to do? Magi, y'all, as though before, 26th of July 2021, healthcare was perfect. Magi. Healthcare not perfect. We know it's not perfect. We know there are issues. But the Prime Minister says, we come in. Yeah, some people have resigned. Yeah, it's not the best, but we're going to get replacement. My former boss told me that, Mr. Fernando, no one is irreplaceable, you know. Yeah, let them go. They want to go, let them go. I'm not knocking them, they're good for whatever reasons, etc. But they'll get replacement. We have friendly governments, we have the Cubans, and Philip J. Pierce says, we come in, and it'll be all right in the morning, Mr. Rick Rain. It'll be all right in the morning, man. Don't worry. It's a little, you know, we hit a little patch, a bumpy road, but we get over it. The smooth road is coming. So I don't know what the protest is about. I mean, fellas are trying to be relevant. Choose a topic. Right now, CIP has run its course. There can be no, you know. So the strategy now. Let's see. But when we come with healthcare and we deliver St. Jude's and the other stuff, what would you say? What would be the new issue that you have? You'll have no more issues. So we good. We come in.
Miguel has sent a voice clip.
Yeah.
That he wants me to play, and he has assured me that it's clean. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
Shelton, good afternoon, and good afternoon to you too, Terry. I have a serious problem with Terry saying that our dearly beloved Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Joseph Pierre, is running the country well on imagination. And my issue is with the use of the term imagination, because if we clearly remember 2016 to 2021, the last guy was running this country on his own imagination. I'm talking about, you know, turning the ghetto into the Pearl of the Caribbean, like Jesus turned water into wine. You know, creating 23 islands and looking for creative ways to grow the economy, or creative ways to earn revenue due to the reduction of VAT. To me, all these things are a figment of a madman's imagination. And all other things like putting horses before a hospital and paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for them to come down to St. Lucia in air condition. Is that not imaginative leadership as well? So Terry, please, let's not make that comparison. Don't use that word to describe our Prime Minister again. or his application of policy. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Miguel, for that voice note which I decided. You see, there is something about words that sometimes when they appear similar, there's what you call nuances, subtle shades of difference and meaning in them.
Yes.
And there is also words, they have what you call denotation, which is the primary meaning, and they have connotation, which is the slight variances or variations in meaning and so on. And there is that nuance between fantasy and illusion and imagination and creativity.
That's right.
You ascribe to somebody imagination and creativity when there is substance and positive, logic about it and so on. And to the other person who's all pie in the sky, you don't call that imagination. You don't call it creativity.
That's right.
This is fantasy and illusion. And I think the other guy, when we talk about him, it's not any imagination he had. This guy is full of fantasy, full of illusion, full of pie in the sky. Philip J. Pierre carries with him the substance of imagination and creativity.
Correct. So, Miguel, you missed the point completely. And I was quoting my comrade, you met a literary teacher of literature at Viewfort. I think my friend Miguel missed the point completely. Philip J. Pierre, like somebody told me, I wonder, he said, yeah, they're criticizing him. He may have a stammering tongue, but a working brain. That's the kind of context. A working brain. Because the man has, the gray matter up there. His brain functions properly. And they want to call him retarded,
Yes.
He has a working brain. So, Miguel took me off a little tangent. But we're coming with healthcare. And when that is, and I think that they're running schedule, because the man says, boy, if that hospital finish, crap will smoke his pipe.
Somebody just sent a message to that effect. Chasney wants us to believe that he's concerned about us, but he's screaming about how we have a health crisis. But there he is saying, if we allow them to go ahead with the St. Jude Hospital, crap will smoke our pipe. You sense a desperation that has even a sinister association with it, the way the UWP is desperate that the current government should not complete St. Jude according to the pre-approved plans, but it's the box. The box is what they want them to do. There has to be something sinister about this kind of determination and I dare say obsession,
Now, I was going to play another video, but I think we'll leave time for call. Because saying, come and pray come and pray for the cathedral. The cathedral has absolutely no problem. You're the one who attacked the priests. You made. And I can play. You could go on YouTube too if you want, and I could play to have had a reverse. His voice broken, apologizing to Alan because I used your name in vain, and he had to make the Archbishop apologize to him. That broke my heart,
Yeah.
Let's take that call.
Somebody else was brokering the intimidation,
Yeah.
Somebody else in association with a certain priest. We have a call on the line. Good afternoon. Real Issues.
Hello, Shelton. You know about the $1 million joke in the Caribbean? The leader of the opposition in St. Lucia wants to burn down a house to kill a cockroach. Okay?
Yes. But we will not give him that opportunity. We're going to protect the victory, and people we'll explain what protecting the victory is. We have to do it for St. Lucia because it's total destruction. Bob Marley comes to mind. Total destruction is what wanted to unleash on the country.
Okay, we have another call on the line. Good afternoon, Real Issues.
Good afternoon, Real Issues, guys. How you doing?
Doing okay. How about you?
Well, I was okay before I called, but not lackluster response tell me I did the wrong.
Because I know it's not really me you want to tell good afternoon. I
don't know why every time Terry
you're about bypassing me. Even your voice changes.
It's not like I only call when Terry's there.
Yeah, but
just call.
But your voice is different. So go right ahead. You haven't told Terry good afternoon yet. Go ahead.
That's what I was about to do.
Okay, do it.
Good afternoon, Terry, my darling. Mr. Shelton, devle say. Tapi pou Shelton.
Si matin là, the café please.
Ou heno helicopter, pou sa ti ou an le tête boîte là, helipad là, pou mena ou le airport là, pou mena n'importe koto.
Ok, actuellement ça, moi etwe si comme moi dans ti coin. Fais ça pour.
Restez là, Coco, restez là. Écoutez-moi. Dernier Premier ministre, la Pierre Merendering, C'est ça tout c'est les renderings of 23 islands, renderings of the transformation of Viewport, renderings of this, renderings of that. So that was not imagination. Like you guys said, that was fantasy land. But Mr. Pierre is a man of reality, touching the people now for their future progress, touching the people and their children to relieve them in the future. That is Mr. Pierre for you. Let us not equate the two. Mr. Pierre stutters. Alan Chasney pasa parler, man. He just cannot speak English as usual Creole. We cannot put the two together on the same day in the same sentence. Not at all. Had we have Mr. Pierre 5 years ago, St. Jude would have been finished. And Terry, I'm waiting for you, Coco. When you see Mr. Pierre say we coming down to St. Jude, I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, I'll be there. God willing.
You can bring Shelton. He'll be welcome. That day, whatever date is, Shelton better know. The only real issue will be St. Jude. Now, St. Jude coming.
We coming.
St. Jude coming. And let me tell you, whether it be 2 years, whether it be 1.5 years, whether it be 2.5 years, but St. Jude coming.
Nah, not so long.
For the election. Exfu Poco Poese Bukusala Zot Mele about healthcare à présent. Kasa, temo vie fait ça mo de ka faire là pour l'autre monde qui bye bye.
Yeah, so thank you, caller. Healthcare is coming. I mean, the Prime Minister, he has given his word, or my word.
All right.
Yeah.
We have another call on the line. Good afternoon.
Good
Real
day.
issues. Hello.
And my dear brother, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my brother.
I will always, at every given opportunity, call to defend my Prime Minister when he's been attacked. Last night, Sarah Fraud, a former Minister of Government who had a business operating at the Immigration Office, a business where she used to cover passports. So that means she was dealing with passports. Want to say that Philip JPA is not a leader? And she want to make reference and say Kenny Anthony is a leader, but not Philip Japia. So you're trying to do a little kind of divide and rule.
It's called driving a wedge.
Yeah.
Don't come with that, Sarah. I am happy. I am proud, knowing that I have Philip Japia as my leader and as my Prime Minister. Philip Japia, in those 3 years, he has been Prime Minister of this country. He has never brought any ounce of shame, dishonor, and disgrace to this country. The only thing that Philip Japia focus on is how he can make his policies renowned to the benefit of us, the people.
That's right.
And everything Philip Japia has done, the average man receives from it. And the list goes on. You look at the upper increase in the pensioners. And the list just goes on. Everything he does. So I am happy. St. Lucians are happy to have Philip Japia as their leader and as the Prime Minister. Have a good afternoon.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. And I think we have another call from Bernard Haynes in New York. Brother Bernard, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Shelton, the Honorable Shelton Daniel, Senator. Good afternoon to Mr. Terry Federer.
Good afternoon, sir.
Shelton, let me just reach out to my family, my aunt, who lost her son yesterday. I just have first child yesterday, because the situation is, that's the only way I can really reach them, by calling them or letting them know. And I want to tell the whole story.
Okay, what were the circumstances of the loss? It was not anything unexpected or unnatural, right? Not an accident or killing?
I think he was ill for a little while.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Sorry about that. Accept my condolences. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Children, I must say that, you know what, the only thing I can really tell St. Lucians is they have a prime minister that they can believe in, they can trust. I think they should just hold strong, Shelton. He's not just coming, he's doing there and he's doing what the people need. He's doing what the people need, not what people want, but what the people need. Mr. Philip J. is delivering to the people of St. Lucia with no drama, no fanfare, no matter what. For me, Shelton, I do not know if I was in a situation like that. And the way people try to humiliate me or call me names, or what would I have done? And that's not the Prime Minister we have. I'm so glad. Sometimes ago, a gentleman from New Jersey, he follows St. Lucian politics. So he tell me, wow, well, I have a cool fellow for the Prime Minister. How he doesn't take on the opposite side? Now, he's New Jersey, he's American, but he's so much interested in St. Lucian politics. He knows a lot about St. Lucian politics. And he told me about the Prime Minister not even making a fuss, you know, the amount of things they say about him. I don't see him as that, but if it was him, you know, he would have taken on his people and make noise with them. I tell him, well, to each their own, not the character we have as our Prime Minister now compared to what we had before. The person we have there now, he's just a cool, quiet fella. He's very jovial. Don't mind him that he's very jovial. But he's a fella that takes his work serious and know why the people push him there.
All right, bro. We have to leave it at that. We have to leave it at that. Okay. The principle of always leave us wanting more means that when you come back again tomorrow, we'll let you see more. But we have to wrap up now because the 2 o'clock is rapidly approaching on us. Thank you so much. Okay.
It's on your screens, people. The Hitriots spreading hate and violence. That's all they want to do. You heard. We'll give him boop on the. That's what you want to do, Prime Minister. You want to do a lopo on the Prime Minister. You give him boop.
Inflammatory, insightful, you know, kind of stuff. Yeah.
Patriots. They do not love us. They do not love the national. If they loved us, the National Trust. 1 minute to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would have loved to be back tomorrow, but I have a simple.
Yeah.
Oh, we have a call.
I think he's saying.
Yeah, we have a call.
Yeah.
1 minute. Yeah.
Gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon. How are you guys doing?
Very good. Good afternoon.
All right. Right now it's raining outside, and I can tell you, St. Lucia is crying. Why I say St. Lucia is crying? Because of what the opposition leader and his minion are trying to do to St. Lucia. But one thing I know, we are crying a cry of joy because we knew what we came out from under. Shelton and your guest, I want to ask St. Lucians to reflect on what obtains for health care in St. Lucia 8 years ago under Alan Chasney. I hope we as St. Lucians, when we hear all those ridiculous statements by Alan Chasney and his minions as to the state of health care, I want us to remember, do we remember when we had the Victoria Hospital being leaking from the upstairs down, and the filth, the sewer waste that was running down in the hospital into casualty? I want St. Lucians to remember when persons who were sick in casualty had to be lying down on the floor at casualty. I mean, look at the number of things that has happened in healthcare.
Okay, my friend. Okay, we have to go now. It's 1:59 by my clock, and
just one last thing, Shelton.
Yeah, quickly.
I want them to ask the doctors who have resigned, where were they at that when all of these things were happening? Thank you, Shelton.
Okay, thank you very much. And I think that'll do it for us today.
That's right.
On the real issues, Terry. It's always when you're here, I want to give you the final wrap up.
Yes, I would have loved to come tomorrow, but I have some meeting to attend. Hopefully, maybe on Monday, because there is so much to unpack, and we have to expose the hypocrisy of these guys. So have a good day. Until next week, maybe Monday.
All right. Thank you so very much, Terry. Always appreciate your being here. You know, you just have to let me know, and you're always welcome. Thank you very much, Jaquan. Thanks, everyone, the callers, those on the Facebook Live, and those who are just listening without any indication of your presence. We always appreciate it greatly. So until tomorrow, same time, 12:30 to 2, I'm Shelton Daniel on behalf of Terry Fenelon and Jaquan and everyone else here at MBC for today, signing out.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.
Why are you suffering from AIDS?
The winning numbers for the midday draw of Thursday, 31st October 2024 were Double Daily Grand, 10, 18, 20, 22. Big 4, 4, 9, 1, 9. Big 4 Multi-X, 2X. Pick 2, 1, 8. Pick 2 Multi-X, FP. 1 off, 0, 9, 2. Lucky 3, 0, 8, 7. Lucky 3 Multi-X, 2X.
The voice. Your hero is back. Raw facts, no fluff. Shelton Daniel is here to deal with the issues. Real issues. 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Monday to Friday on Real FM.